YouTube, what is going on, guys? It is your boy James from Make an Opening, and today I have a brand new deck tech video for you all. The deck that I personally will be running at Worlds 2025. Over the last few weeks now, I have been debating between one deck and the other. Those two decks being Quinlan Tarkentown and the brand new Kylo ECL. I've been very back and forth. One day I'm saying I'm bringing Quinlan. The next day I'm saying I'm bringing Kylo. It's been decided I'm bringing Kylo, and there's a couple reasons as to why. I think Kylo's play lines are just more fun. They're very explosive, very fun. The villain control / like mid-range package is something that I've always found to be really fun. So that's what I'm doing. I'm bringing Kylo ECL. It's a lot of fun, and I honestly think this deck has some really solid legs. So does everyone else in the community. What a shocker. Today we're going to go over, everything that makes Kylo Ren work. We're going to go over the upgrade package. We're going to go over the ECL / Timely package. We're going to go over some of the key finishers in the deck, as well as some of my favorite Voltron combos that you can attach onto Kylo Ren whenever he deploys. I'll also be going over my sideboard, what cards are for what matchups, and that's going to be it. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Are you going to Worlds? What are you playing? We're already over 1,100 subs. Thank you guys so much. Let's head into the deck tech now. So linked downstairs is going to be the published deck list. I'll pop it up on screen now. You can take a glimpse at it. You can screenshot it if you want, but it's going to be in the description downstairs. But the first thing we're going to be talking about is the upgrade package. And in Kylo Ren, we're actually going to be running 12 upgrades. Now, this does differ if you're running ECL versus Data Vault, because Data Vault, you're getting 10 whole cards added on to the minimum. So in Data Vault, you're probably wanting to run, closer to 15, 16 upgrades in your main deck. But for ECL and my ECL list in particular, we are running 12 upgrades. Some of them are a little bit more common than others. We have Craving Power and Legal Authority. Craving Power and Legal Authority is seen to be the de facto combo when deploying Kylo Ren. Not only do you blow up something on your opponent's side of the board, but you can capture something else as well. Effectively 2-for-1ing them while Kylo is still ready to take a swing. Also, Kylo Ren is getting +2/+4 from this combo, making him a 7/9 Sentinel. Pretty difficult to deal with, though there are some key issues with that stat line that we'll cover later in the video. Heirloom Lightsaber is a heroic upgrade. It's a 2-cost. If we were to try to equip it to Kylo, it would be a 4-cost, but you get +2/+2 and Restore 1. So against those more aggro matchups, when you need to deploy and start making up some ground because you do only have a 25 HP base, this lightsaber can be quite useful. With it being at the 4-cost due to the penalty, not only does this pair well with Legal Authority, but it also pairs really well with Bolstered Endurance. It's a 1-cost, so 4+1 is 5. You can do that pretty easily on 7 resources. And it gives Kylo another +1/+3 since he has a Force unit. So in this theoretical combo, it would be +3/+5, making Kylo Ren an 8/10 Sentinel with Restore 1, which is a pretty good combo, if you ask me. That's pretty good. Lastly, in my upgrade list, we have 2 Snapshot Reflex. This is a yellow upgrade, +1/+1. When played, you may attack with the attached unit. In this list, you're going to be paying the aspect penalty of +2, so this is a 3-resource upgrade whenever you're flipping Kylo, or a 3-resource upgrade at any other point in the game whenever you're trying to push that extra bit of damage. A lot of times when you're sitting across from a player and they see Kylo, they are planning for that 7-resource flip turn to do anything in their possible deck. They're going to find something, they're going to save it for when Kylo flips, that way they can deal with him as soon as he flips. That way you can't take an action to swing with him, because Kylo in and of itself presents a huge threat, presenting a lot of damage, so your opponent doesn't want to take that damage. Snapshot Reflexes gets around that problem, and it lets you attack with Kylo instantly, either taking out one of their key units or just going straight to base for a minimum of 6 damage. In aggro matches, sometimes I like to do Heirloom plus Snapshot to swing 8 at their base with Restore 1. It's a 9 HP swing. Pretty impactful. You can also combo this with Legal Authority and Bolstered Endurance, as well as Devotion, which we'll get into in a little bit. Now, if you're new here and you don't understand why we're running 12 upgrades in a 50-card Premier deck list, we'll take another look at Kylo Ren. He'll be right here. His action lets you discard a card from your hand, and if the discarded card is an upgrade, you get to draw a card, essentially filtering through your deck for the key pieces you need in that moment, also allowing you to put something in the discard. That way, whenever Kylo Ren flips, which do the flip. Can you flip for me? Can you flip? There we go. Whenever you flip Kylo, you play any number of upgrades from your discard pile onto him. You still have to pay the cost, but yeah, that's why we have so many upgrades. We also have a couple other ways to filter and draw through the deck in the form of Inferno 4 and Dr. Pershing. These cards I see as complete staples in Kylo. Inferno more than Dr. Pershing, but in a meta full of force throws, Dr. Pershing is invaluable. You need him. You definitely need him. Now we go over ECL. Boom! There's a few different options we could have been running. We could have ran ECL, which is what we're running. We could run a standard 30 HP green base, or we could be running Data Vault, making our deck list 60 instead of 50, but getting that additional HP going from 30 to 33. Why are we going with ECL and initially taking the cut to our HP? Why are we doing that? Well, reading ECL, if you are new to the game, it allows you to play a unit that costs 6 or less from your hand and give it ambush. There are a couple key cards that we can abuse with ECL to completely swing the game into our favor if we are slightly behind or just straight up losing at the 6 resource turn. Also, thanks to Super Laser Technician Resupply, our 6 resource turn is typically the opponent's 5 resource turn. So keep that in mind. We'll go over them one by one, starting with Anakin Skywalker. This unit, when played, gives -3/-3 to a enemy unit, depending on, if you have a heroic card in your discard pile, or if you have a villainy card in your discard pile. He's also a 5/7, which is just great stats as well. And with ambush, 5/7 on the 5 resource turn, for example, if you've rammed at least once, him ambushing can kill something. And then if you have a villainy card and a heroic card in your discard pile, which that is something you're aiming for, which is why we're running the cards Heirloom Lightsaber, which we talked about earlier, as well as Rey. She's really good in this deck. Rey's really good. If either of these cards are in your discard, you can give either 2 units, -3/-3, effectively 3 for 1-ing if you also ambush and defeat something, or you can give one bigger thing, -6/-6, ambush into something else, and effectively 2 for 1 with Anakin Skywalker. Outvaluing your opponents with key trades like this is essential. It's how you're going to be beating your opponents in most of the games. If you can get multiple 2 for 1s and 3 for 1s off in a game, it's very difficult for your opponent to come back, especially in the late game when we start dropping some bigger bombs on them. Finally, the strongest card to come out of Legend of the Force, Darth Vader. The new Darth Vader unit is an insane ECL target. He is a 6 resource 5/6. When played, you give a shield token to a friendly unit and an enemy unit. On attack, you defeat an enemy unit with a shield. A couple different ways you can utilize this. You can give one enemy unit a shield, ambush into another to 2 for 1, leaving Vader perfectly healthy. Or if they have one really big scary thing on their side of the board and you don't happen to have like a Power of the Dark Side or a Merciless Contest in hand, you can ambush out Vader, give Vader or another one of your friendly units, if you have some, a shield, and then give that one enemy unit a shield, ambush into it, but before damage can even be dealt, the enemy unit with the shield pops and Vader is still healthy, with or without a shield. It's pretty good. This guy's pretty good. Without being able to abuse him with ambush, this card is definitely a lot worse. He's not a bad card. He's definitely like borderline playable without the ambush mechanic, but utilizing ECL the way we do and going above and beyond and also running 3 copies of Timely Intervention makes the abusal rate, the rate at which we can abuse Vader and Anakin, they go through the roof. Tommy, your butt is on my camera. Tommy, say hello to the people. They want to say hi to Tommy. He said, no, I don't want to talk. Oh, you're so handsome. So handsome, Bubba. Those are the 2 main ECL/Timely targets. But, you can Timely/ECL anything in the deck. In Vader matchups, it's probably a smart play to ambush out an Inferno 4 or a Supremacy tie to control that side of the board while you're in the early stages of the game. You can also ambush out a Lom Pyke, a Rey. I've done that a couple different times. And typically after the big ECL 6 resource turn, 7 resource turn, we are establishing a really big threat right after another really big threat by flipping Kylo and deploying a bunch of stuff onto him. So, you know, that is the main playline and the main game plan of Kylo. Do crazy stuff on 6 resources, deploy Kylo on 7 resources. If they can't answer you or find the appropriate responses in time, you win the game from there. And it's awesome. I love it. Lastly, we have a few finishers. In the 8 resource slot, we have Supreme Leader Snoke. This is really good into a majority of things. It's really good into aggro. It's especially good into Vader to destroy all the 1 and 2 health units, especially the tokens. They're all dead. You know, it's good into force decks that are throwing up a bunch of units onto the board, whether they fill their hand with Kiadi or they're dropping like Caloran Beck and U-Wing reinforcement. Giving everything across the board -2/-2 is very powerful, especially if your Kylo was not interacted with and you're dropping your Snoke behind a really big Sentinel. It makes them that much better. And lastly, Avenger. Avenger has always been a staple high-end villainy card. You play it, something dies, on attack, something else dies. For 10 resources, he can 3-for-1 with timely intervention if you're ambushing into an opponent's space unit. Obviously, they could just defeat the one you're ambushing into, so it's more likely a 2-for-1 than a 3-for-1, but it's awesome. Avenger is awesome. I love Avenger, especially ambushing out an Avenger. It's awesome. Some of my favorite Voltron combos, again, Craving Power and Legal Authority does work. You're 2-for-1ing right off the rip, and then you can either 3-for-1 by swinging Kylo into another unit or go base for 7 damage, which is pretty good. Heirloom paired with Bolstered is really good. Most things paired with Bolstered is pretty good because you jump up to 10 HP. Bolstered Endurance has been my answer for Force Throw Crate Dragon, because if you Force Throw a Crate Dragon at Kylo, but he's at 10 HP, he lives, and you can still get another swing off. That's important. Also, my favorite Kylo Voltron combo is a Bolstered Endurance, a Legal Authority, and a Snapshot Reflexes. I call this the 7-Eleven Kylo. Now we're going to go over the sideboard cards one by one, letting you know why they're in there, what matchups they're in there for. Devotion is in there for the aggro matchups. The additional Restore 2, especially on Kylo Deploy, is really good. And again, just a simple reminder, the upgrades don't only need to be pitched to the discard. You could put them on your units and, get benefit from them. Whenever the unit dies with the upgrade still goes to the discard pile. You're still getting it there one way or another. Eager Escort Fighter is typically only sided in against Vader4. The Vader4 Yellow deck, he is a 4-1 for 3 ambush, defeats a lot of really big key targets that the Vader may have. Slows them down, takes out a big unit, slows them down. That's what we want to do against Vader. Nameless Terror, this may be like my little bit of spice, my make it opening spice. I don't see anyone else running this in main or inside. When played, you can exhaust a force unit, so worst things worse, if you don't end up having one of the 4 copies of Power of the Dark Side, which is 3 powering and 1 merciless contest, in your hand by turn 2, and you don't have something to, ECL into their turn 1 force unit to kill it, Nameless Terror does a really good job by exhausting it to just buy you another turn where they don't have the force. And then later in the game, if they have a very wide board of force units, you could ECL or even timely out Nameless Terror to make sure all of their force units no longer have the force trait. This is very big. If they don't have the force, they're not getting it by swinging with any of those units. They can't force throw you and deal damage at the same time. It really throws a wrench in the thing of things. I've had a lot of really good results testing with Nameless Terror. I don't know if anyone else has, but hey, from me to you, this is sauce. Put it in your deck, it's awesome. We have our 3rd copy of the Supremacy TIE SF in the sideboard. We're running 2 in main. It is a 3-resource 3/3 Sentinel. We're siding in the 3rd one against Vader or space heavy decks in general. 2 Palpatine's Return. Again, these mainly count as 2 more copies of either Anakin, Vader, Snoke, even Avenger, like any really big things that you want to recur from the discard pile. Palpatine's Return basically just acts as 2 wild cards. These cards are really good for the mid-range mirrors / controlled matchups where you're going to need more copies. What's better than 3 copies of Vader? And lastly, we have 1 Big Daddy Reinforcement Walker. Again, when you timely this guy out, you're healing 6. It's really good into those more grindy force matchups where you're going the distance and you're swinging back and forth at each other. Also, if you ramp good enough, this is really good into aggro matchups as well, especially aggro matchups that are more focused in the ground arena like Sabine, because you know, you ambush into one of their units, one of their bigger units like Poe or Wrecker, you know, you can deal some really good damage there. You're healing 6, life is good, and you love it. You just love it. You really love it. I think you love it. So there it is, guys, my Kylo ECL deck that I'm going to be repping at Worlds 2025 at the Galactic Championship in Las Vegas, Nevada at the Venetian. Let me know what you guys thought of the deck list. Again, I'll leave the deck list downstairs in the description. Please play with it. Let me know what you guys think. And there's going to be a slight break in between videos because I don't really have a whole backlog of stuff ready to go. I was planning on it. I got busy with life, got busy with work. So there's going to be a slight break in between videos, a week and a half probably. We shall see. This video is going live on Wednesday, the day before Worlds. So if anyone asks what sort of changes I've made, I haven't made any because this deck list is locked and loaded and ready to go. If you're interested to keep up with me and see how I do throughout the event, make sure to also join our community Discord downstairs in the description. We're having a lot of fun in there, a lot of good talks, a lot of good conversation, and the community's growing pretty fast over there, so thanks so much. Appreciate it. Also, you're going to want to be joined because we are doing a showcase giveaway very soon. It'll be taking place a little after Worlds, so stay tuned for that. Join up, baby. Join up. Like, comment, subscribe. Thank you guys so much for 1,100 subs. The growth has been insane. And until next time, this has been Make It Opening, your future Worlds Champion. Peace. Also, we're going to be vlogging Worlds. Not Shrimp. He can't go to Vegas. Right, Shrimp? He can't go to Vegas. But we're vlogging Worlds. That'll be a fun video. Cool, bye.